Wedding. The Universal Life Church has given me a magic wand to wave. But there is unfortunately a problem. The problem is that Bill and Patricia are already married, whether the state likes it or not. So regrettably, there will be no waving of wands. There is no entity created by man which has the right, in our eyes, to dictate when and if two people can choose to commit to each other for life. And obviously, Bill and Patricia have already done that. Stephen Malcolm said, "I don't need a minister to call me a groom." And Bill and Patricia obviously also agree with that. So you might be saying, what am I doing here? What are you doing here with your eBay merit badges, your loud voice, and your shiny balls? What am I doing all gussied up in the woods, spit shined, polished? I moved my monthly bath ahead a week. I know that goes for a few of these people. Well, Bill and Patricia have asked us all here today not to see them married necessarily, but to celebrate what has already come to pass, and to publicly ask for all of us to enter into a covenant to support their family, to be the community that families need to thrive. The world is full of uncertainty, and though ideally they'll never ask, they hope that you would pledge to be there for any capacity, in any capacity, if the need were to arise, as this is not an ideal world. Do you all agree?
I agree. Yes.
I didn't even have to cue you to say I do. We'll do that later. We declare that the universe is mysterious, as unknowable as infinity by definition must be. The infinite, an idea we can express only in the abstract through thought and word. We are awed by its incredible complexities and humbled by our minute role in its astonishing majesty. Where does it come from? Where is it going? Why are we here? We don't pretend to have answers to those questions, but we do assert our right here as people free from fear of the voids in our comprehension. In recognition of this, and also to remember those who have made it so that we could be here today, but are not with us in this place, I ask you all to join me in a moment of silence and to please reflect on our shared good fortune in being here together in this beautiful world. All right, it's cold, so we'll keep it that long. Rainier Maria Rilke was a German poet who spent 10 years writing a book called the Duino Elegies, a book which you can easily read in 2 hours. At first blush, you might say, 10 years and so little accomplished? But if you have read them, and you should, you realize that there are centuries of work in there. And so it goes when we regard the high art of human expression. In the 7th elegy, Rilke had this to say about love. There's nowhere, my love, the world can exist except within. Our lives are used up in transformations, and what's outside us, always diminishing, vanishes. Where a solid house once stood, a wholly fictitious image cuts in, just as if the whole thing existed completely in the brain. The zeitgeist creates huge silos of power that are as shapeless as the straining urge he acquires from everything else. We have forgotten the temples. We are the ones who try surreptitiously to save the squanderings of the heart. Yes, where one still stands, a thing that was once prayed to, knelt to, served, it reaches just as it is into the unseen world. Many don't notice and miss the chance to build it now, inside themselves, with pillars and statues greater than ever. This is a non-traditional wedding, as you can tell. But some traditions are good, and that doesn't mean we will ignore them all. One tradition is to exchange vows. Bill and Patricia have been very busy with work, wedding planning, having a baby, And so they asked me to come up with some vows for them, a decision they may regret for the rest of their life. I'm going to ask you one question, and then there will be a series of things which you can promise, if you choose to. You have free will here. Patricia?
Yes.
Is this man your husband?
Yes.
Do you promise to be his ally and advocate,
Yes.
his closest confidant and most honest critic?
Yes.
Endeavor to lift him when he is down, either physically or spiritually?
Yes.
To stand arm in arm with him, and in the event of a zombie apocalypse, back to back, fighting to the end? To walk gladly beside him down any metaphorical path, through literal sunshine or rain? To foster his creativity and dispel his self-doubt? To accept any manner of wild facial hair he may grow, even if it makes him look like an insane Russian monk? To keep your love for him in service to, but never subordinate to, your children? Do you vow all this through the rest of your life until you have drawn your last breath?
I do.
And further, to don't worry about a thing, because every little thing's going to go. Excellent. Bill, is this woman over here your wife?
Yes.
And do you promise to be her ally and advocate, her closest confidant and most honest critic?
Absolutely.
Endeavor to lift her when she is down, either spiritually or physically?
Continually.
To stand arm in arm with her and always have a good supply of Kleenex on hand for spontaneous weepings? To walk gladly with her through any poetic trope in all manner of weather, both figurative and literal?
Yes.
To foster her creativity and dispel her self-doubt? To laugh with her, especially when the jokes are bad?
Yes.
Thank you, I appreciate that. To religiously apply a sunscreen of at least 30 SPF for exposed flesh at all future clam bakes. This will be enforced. And especially to keep your love of her in the service of, but never subordinate to, your children. Will you do this until you part the strange illusion we share with your last breath? And do you also pledge to don't worry about a thing? Because every little thing is going to be all right. Come closer. I believe you meant before. Is there a physical token by which these two, by which all shall know these two are bound? I only do this once every 4 years.
Where is she?
Excellent. Repeat after me, Bill Brown. The circle of this ring, and you should put the ring on her finger. The circle of this ring
The circle of this ring
represents my endless love for you
represents my endless love
for all of time. You're going to have to speak words now. The circle of this ring represents my endless love for you for all of time. Okay? By the power vested in me, by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. I declare you man and wife, and I will wave them back.